Affordable sneakers. I get this question a lot. A lot of people ask me, what's your top list of affordable sneakers that are out there? So I figured I make this video for all of you to see. Now this list, of course, is my list, and this goes around the parameters of affordable sneakers under the range of $200, give or take. It's your boy Keezy. It ain't easy being Keezy. Let's get it. So starting this off, the only default to this video is that these are all recommendations of sneakers that I would either actually buy or I already own. I'm not going to recommend you something that I wouldn't buy. And the second thing, very quickly, is that it does go within the range of $200, but some of them are even cheaper than $100. For those folks out there that are like, well, $200 is not affordable. Well, hey, I'll give recommendations on all scopes. So starting this off, we're gonna go from 10 all the way down to 1. So starting off with number 10 is going to be the Reebok Club C Off-White Vintage sneaker. I don't know the exact title, but it's this shoe that you're seeing right here. I love this sneaker. It almost comes in like 2 or 3 other colors. Instead of the vintage off-white bone colorway that you're seeing right here, it also comes in an actual leather white with red, and then another one that has white and blue. But essentially they're all the same sneaker. But this shoe is a very good recommendation on all fronts. It's almost no matter what style you wear, this shoe can somehow fit in your wardrobe. I will say it probably isn't as comfy as wearing something like Boost because it doesn't have that Boost technology. It's more of a flat sneaker. I've seen it retail at $65, I think at PacSun. It might have been on sale. I think at most it might be about 80 bucks, but you can get it even cheaper than that. Anyways, let's move on to number 9. So since I already gave you one that's under $100, why don't we bump up the price a little bit on this one? This might be one of my best recommendations. Reason being is because it is the New Balance 993s. I've talked about these at least 4 or 5 times on my channel. You can tell that these are pretty beat already. These are my beater sneakers. If you haven't bought into New Balance, you're like, dang, 175 bucks, 180 bucks, whatever. Maybe tax out the door is almost 185, give or take. Yes, it sounds expensive, but if you think about it, that's just 2 sneakers. If you bought 2 of those Reeboks that I just recommended you, that's already at the same price as this. And it also is probably the most comfortable sneaker that I have on this list. I probably should have saved this one for last, but I'm gonna give it to you coming in hot at number 9. And it does come in some really nice colorways. Of course, everybody right now is trying to get the Jown New Balances, but you feel me? Those are really expensive, okay? I'm not paying $1,000 for New Balances, let alone over $200. Thank God these are under $200. They seem to be in style these days anyway. People are still styling dad shoes. People are still styling uncle shoes, I guess, maybe the best words for it. Great recommendation. If you save up the money for it, trust me, you're not gonna regret it. So number 8, we're gonna talk about Puma. I haven't talked about Puma on this channel in a while, mainly because I haven't been buying Puma, but I'm recommending you this shoe right here. This is the RSX3. I think prior to this shoe, either different colorways or a different model that looked very similar was the RX-S, not with the 3. But anyways, if that's the technicality model behind it, that's what it is, and you could find it online. These are very affordable. I don't know the exact price off the top of my head. I'll try to put it down below here to kind of show you what the price is. But I love this colorway. Now, I know, Puma kind of dropped the ball on this sneaker. I really thought that this could have been a very revolutionary sneaker for them if they kind of wanted to go down that streetwear hype route. But they didn't do that, and they just made these shoes available to everybody. And when I mean everybody, I mean everybody. But the plus side to that is that now it's really affordable for people. And I don't know, I just like this colorway in general. There are many colorways in this sneaker that I think are terrible. In fact, I think probably 80% of them are pretty bad. But there's a small percentage of this shoe right here that look really good. Even when you look from the top or the back side or even just the side of the shoe, it's just a great looking sneaker overall. I think is a great recommendation, goes with a lot of stuff. It does fall in that bulkier look, so if you're into that, you're into that. If you're not, then we can move on to number 7. Essentials, PacSun, Fear of God. I haven't talked about Fear of God on this channel in a while, or like dedicated a sole video to Fear of God for many reasons. But I'm bringing up the Converse Essential sneaker, and I think there was a couple releases, but the one I'm talking about is this one. So if this sneaker is not under $150, then it's under the $200 mark, so it just made the list. Last time I checked, either on GRAILED and maybe even StockX, which was maybe a couple weeks ago or a month ago. So if this thing skyrockets for whatever reason, don't yell at me, okay? But I do like this sneaker. I wanted to actually include this shoe on my top sneakers of 2020, but it didn't necessarily make the list. Would I buy this sneaker? The answer is yes. Would I have a hard time styling the sneaker myself? Yeah, because it doesn't necessarily fit me. I'm not really a Chucks guy, but I think this colorway in Chucks actually looks good. For me personally, I stopped wearing Fear of God. I stopped wearing Essentials. I was just kind of over it. I sold all of it, but this one caught my eye. I don't really see too many people wearing these also, so it kind of gives it a little bit more of that edge to it. So if you can, check it out. The price is relatively affordable. Let's move on. So how could we talk about this list without talking about Air Forces? Just Air Forces in general, and I'm not gonna get up on here and be like, you should just buy all white Air Forces. Duh, no brainer. Those are very cheap. I mean, cheap is relative, but the all whites go for about $100. I mean, that's kind of cheap in today's standards, right? But if you want that extra edge, instead of just buying the all whites, just hit up Nike by You and get something like this, right? This sneaker right here is just an all white Uptown, except it has the vintage sole on it. Now, I'm not 100% if Nike by You is still doing this. I for sure know they were doing it like a month and a half, 2 months ago. And I don't think the price cost is actually that much crazier. You can even customize the back and put your initials on there or something fancy like that. So you can't just go to Foot Locker and put your name on your sneaker. In this case, you can. And also, it's affordable. And also, not everybody is doing this, which I don't know why more people aren't. I think I've seen like 3 or 4 people do it at this point. I thought it was a really good idea, and it can go with a lot of stuff. All of you want that vintage stuff right now. Everybody wants old shit, but sometimes you want old new shit, and this is old new shit. Buy it. It's affordable. Let's keep going. And speaking of Air Force Ones, I might want to double check my list here because I might have more than, actually I might have too many Air Force Ones on this list. This is the pair that I'm talking about right here. This is the Nike Air Force One 2007. And I like it because, you know, even on the bottom, they didn't color the sole. There was no gum bottom. The air is not colored in, and it made it that much better. And I think the reason why I like these is because it actually reminds me of the Cause Babestas. The Cause Babestas is practically just an all-white Babesta, except the star is a particular color. And I like that look right now, and I feel like that look, I don't want to say it's trending, but in my head, I'm looking for more sneakers that are kind of like an all-white sneaker, and then it either has like a black swoosh, a red swoosh, or a red star, or a silver star, or what have you. And here is a perfect example of what I mean by that. So these are my metallic Babestas. And again, I just like that all white with the, you know, prominent star on there. In this case, obviously, these are Air Force Ones. You're not gonna get a star, you're gonna get a swoosh, but this is an affordable list. I mean, people sell these things for like $450, $500, brand new, if you can even find it brand new. Forget about trying to hunt for it. You can actually just go online right now and buy these for like $90, $95. That's a pretty reasonable price if you ask me, especially for such a nice shoe. And also, these will age well. And I know there's some conversation about like, oh, you should keep your Air Forces clean and this and that, da da da. These actually might look good after they get dirty. Really strange. I would prefer them to be new, but even if it gets dirty on this pair, it might actually look kind of cool because y'all, again, you guys like old stuff. You guys like vintage stuff. So we chatted about more Air Force Ones. Hopefully I don't have more on this list. But we're gonna keep talking about Nike. So I'm gonna recommend to you the Nike Zoom Vomero 5, one of those. It's this shoe. You guys have seen it many times. I got associated to this sneaker and started liking the shoe after I bought the Ecole Wool Nike Zoom Vomeros, but that can't be on the list because people resell those things for like $400, right? But the one without the block on the back, which is less of an eyesore to some people, This comes in multiple colors. It comes in all white, it comes in all black. There's a green one, and I think there is a white, black, and blue pair as well. I think all of those colors are really nice, maybe besides the black one, because it gives me a little bit of like black Air Force One vibes. The white one is really nice. I do like the green, and I do like the black and white pair as well. All of these sneakers are great. Not only are they great, they are also actually pretty affordable. They're under 150 to my understanding. And on top of all of that, they are very comfortable. This might be equivalent to wearing Boost, for sure. Except it feels as if it's a little bit stiffer just by a little bit, and it will last a little bit longer than Boost. Because we all know Boost is great for like 4 or 5 months, 6 months, right? Until you wear it too much and you're like, these things are like wet noodles on my feet. They're soggy foam now. You can't wear it after a while, right? But these are real like running shoes, but they also can look good. I've seen a lot of girls that put these shoes together with their fits and made them look pretty good, and I have no doubt that guys can do the same thing. So let's bring it back and talk about Puma again, and I'm going to talk about the Puma Clydes. Pretty sure that's the official name of them. I love these shoes. They're a little bit more of a flat-footed shoe, so if you walk a long distance, if you love shoes like that, it'll work out for you. Kind of like a Vans comfortability. But the look of the shoe is very sleek. It's also a classic Puma shoe that people don't talk about. It's not hyped up. It's not expensive. I think my first pair of Puma Clydes I ever bought was like $60, 70 bucks. They come in multiple colors that I love, classic colorways that they release, black, red, gray. The gray one's really nice, and also the blue pair. So you got your choices there. This, you know, if you think about it, this is like the, not 80s, but more so 90s D-boy sneaker. But of course, it lost its value in that scene if we really talk about it, and now has become a really great casual shoe that's not hyped. I'm saying that twice because we know how frustrating it is to finally find a sneaker and it's hyped up and it's like $500, and you're like, I want to wear it. I don't want it to sit in my closet so it appreciates in value so I can resell it, right? Again, Puma Clyde, check it out, under 100 bucks. Let's keep going. Alright, so if you've been tuning into my channel, you probably know that I'm still an Air Max fan. More specifically, Air Max 90s. And the one I'm going to bring up is not the Volts, it's not the regular infrareds, which those are great recommendations, but I figured since so many other channels talk about those ones, there's no point at this point. It will be too repetitive for you. So I'm going to bring up the Air Max 90 infrared crocodiles. Yes, this shoe is lit. And I think by wearing this shoe, you're still in that Air Max 90 infrared category, except you're different because everybody is wearing the Volts, everybody's wearing the regular infrareds, the classic shoe, of course. And also the colors of the shoe is a great shoe to go with a lot of outfits. It's majority black, has a little bit of white, and then it has infrared hints. I mean, you can't go wrong. And it's crocodile? You don't know nothing about no gator. No crocodile, boy. Come on now. Now that I'm looking at my list, y'all are gonna hate me because I'm ending with Air Forces. Of course we're ending with Air Forces. It's the closest thing to a Bapesta. We're gonna end with some Air Force Ones, specifically the black, white, and gum bottom Air Forces from 2007. Either it's a remake to look like a 2007 pair, or it's an actual 2007 pair. Anyways, these are sitting online right now for $100. So it's not $150, it's not $300, it's not $700 for freaking Air Force One. It's about $100. Now there's a lot of Air Forces out there to recommend you that are black and white, but this has the gum bottom. I'm still a fan of gum bottom. Some people aren't, some people are. I think on this pair specifically, it's a good accent. Gives it a little bit of different look to it. Also gives it an older look because I think, again, it was around 2007, maybe even early 2000s when Nike was releasing a lot of Air Force Ones that had a lot of gum on them. So again, kind of gives you that little reminiscence of that time period. Really dope sneaker. There's also one other gum bottom Air Force One that is black, white, and gum as well, which is this pair, and it just doesn't have the white swoosh, and I love this pair. I just don't know the official name for it, and I can only find it on eBay for about $80, give or take, and I only found it select sizing, so I didn't necessarily want to talk about it. but here we are talking about it anyway. But I think you get it. Both are a really good recommendation. It goes with every fit. It's a really good everyday sneaker. I'm just a fan of the Air Force One silhouette. Always have, always will be. It is what it is. I hope that was well worth for you waiting throughout this video to find out. I'm just gonna keep talking about Air Forces. Last thing I'll say is that there were two sneakers I really wanted to put on this list. That was the Chinatown Market Air Max 1s, but I think those are being resold at $260 at the least, $350 at the most with the box, right? Brand new. And then the second one was going to be the Jordan 4 Thunders. I was so surprised by looking up this sneaker because I was like, man, the Jordan 4 Thunders, those are an underrated Jordan 4. Like, not a lot of people talk about the Jordan 4 Thunders. Jordan 4s in general are just coming back. People are liking Jordan 4s again because people are having baggier silhouettes, baggier cuts to their pants so they can cover the Jordan 4 or the 5 or the 1s. And then I re-looked at the shoe and people are reselling this thing for like over $350, over $400. I'm like, man, if you talked about this shoe or brought up this sneaker or looked it up like 4 or 5 months ago, 6 months ago, not even, people were letting these shits go for like 190 bucks. I'm not even joking, right? I mean, 190, that's a good deal. Maybe 250, okay, but 350, 450, you're pricing me out of the market at this point. I still like the shoe. I still do think it's underrated. It didn't necessarily make the list, but maybe we could do a higher price list in the future. All right, anyways, closing this video out, whatever sneaker you thought that should have been on this list, put it in the comments below, and if you can, make sure you follow me on Instagram, either here or here. I don't know which side I'm gonna put it on. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys and girls keep it locked from clothing, music to culture. It is your boy Keezy, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
You wanna do, and it's just gonna take a minute, but it's gonna work out. Like if you try to cut corners and you put costumes on to do shit, yeah, you gonna get straight, but at what cost, you know what I'm saying? And how you feel. When you do this shit for you, 100% for you, you could grind and stay up for 5 or 6 days and not really be tired because it's for you.